Hey, imagine Skelly left hand side of midfield, Vinicius Jr. and this fullback deluded leader. Bro, we're with everything. Vinny's been linked. Currently at AFC Premier, apparently made it. Let's talk about it.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, bro. And we're back, people deluded. I'm back again. Now, I'm sure you've seen in the last hour or so, maybe even more, David Ornstein has said Arsenal are exploring the possibility of signing Vinicius Jr. Straight off the bat, what do we make of that, folks, man? You know I'm a big fan of Brazilian football. I know we're a long way away from, the O2 sides and sides prior to that. Vinny gave a good account of himself, obviously, at Brazil in the World Cup. Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Magalhaes, Gabriel Martinelli, you know what you need to do. Contact Vinicius Jr. Berta, Josh Kroenke, the wider team, make it happen. Straight off the bat. In fact, I'll delay my thoughts because I have brought out a video in relation to this. Let me know your thoughts. Let's read over this stuff and then I'll offer my extensive thoughts. But yeah, all the range, everyone and their dog. I don't know if David Ornstein was the first, but if it's not David Ornstein, Romano, Hand of Arsenal, I don't tend to believe anything. And even then, anything can happen, people. Again, until people are holding an Arsenal shirt, which would obviously be the new season one, you're not seeing our away one. I don't buy anything. There's a lot of dominoes that need to fall into place for us to sign Vinicius Jr. And I don't want to pour cold water on anything here, but I don't know Vinicius Jr. I don't know what's going on in the real world of football. I just know if you're going to sign Vinicius Jr. In fact, before all of that, there's some Arsenal fans, yeah. Remember, on this channel, when we're having conversations, a number of you said, oh, I don't want... This is way before this happened, when we were just throwing conversations around. Oh, I don't want Vinicius Jr. Arteta's not going to like him, and he's got attitude problems. He's going to disrupt the dressing room. I bet you're not saying that bullshit right now. Do I love the theory of Vinicius Jr.? 1,000,000%. Bare shirt sales, level raiser, makes me really believe, we can win the Premier League again. Champions League, we got to play with Stardust. You marry him with the quality we've got, it's a crime scene. Martinelli, you can stay just to help him in England and whatnot and do the super sub thing. Now, for me, this tells me a lot of stuff. You have to be prepared to ruin your wage structure, quote unquote, for want of better terms. He's immediately going to become your top earner. Don't know what he gets at Real Madrid. I'm sure throughout the articles we go through, you're going to have to ruin that up, mash that up, and that's going to have knock-on effects when the renewals once again come for. I would say presently, potentially. I'm not saying you get this, but the other guys, the Kai Havertz's, Julian Timber, Declan Rice's, when the Saka, Saliba, Magalhaes, when those deals start resurfacing, obviously everyone's not going to get crazy money. Those of you that understand. And I don't want to pour cold water on this, but maybe I'm frustrated in it, maybe. But for me, I have just reckoned his priority is to stay at Real Madrid. I'm sure there's a level of interest from Arsenal and many a club. Obviously, you never know. Vinicius' camp, if he does want to get a renewal at Real Madrid, could be playing off Arsenal's interest to Real Madrid and things of that ilk. To me, it looks like we're chasing a player that wants to stay at Real Madrid. Where Julian Alvarez is concerned, we're chasing a player that obviously wants Barcelona as his first choice. Bruno Guimaraes, it comes down to the money. Morgan Rogers, we effed it up. It's all said and gone in it. So seeing is believing. Again, Arsenal fans, we know, we're the kings of having to be patient, but it would be a waiting game and it'd be a big decision. He joined them in 2018, 2019 at 18 years of age. All he's known in Europe is Real Madrid. He's grown up there in a sense, and he's gone from a talented player with all the potential to being a world-class player, top one of the top players in his position. Someone's trying to kill me. One of the top players in his position in world football. And no one voluntarily wants to leave Real Madrid. Now, granted, folks, he could want a new experience. He could want to, not that he isn't the main man, but you've got Mbappe, you've got this one, you've got that one. Real Madrid are looking to sign Rodri and Yan Diamande. So I do take these things with a pinch of salt because people, it's easy to make rumors. If anything, and I know he's not the same position, but if we was linked with Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Diaz, Arda Güler, Endrick, all of those people that, depending on what Real Madrid have already and what they're looking to bring in, I would give more fuel to them kind of rumors. Also, on that topic off the bat, people, everyone and their dog's going to have an interest in Vinicius. But Yeah, man. Arsenal have identified Vinicius Jr. as their priority target, smashed the like button, and are drawing up a strategy to sign him. The player is expected to return to Real Madrid's training ground on Monday to have discussions on his contract situation. Again, he's got a year left. You never know. If the transfer window closes, they could convince him to stay. Seems based on everything that you see with Vinicius, it has been around new contract. It has been Jose wants to keep him as a key player. This is before what we've seen today on the 25th of July, people. So I'm taking it all with a pinch of salt. Arsenal are the only possible destination for Vinny this summer. Arsenal have been studying the finances of the deal for days. I mean, I hope we're the only one, but I think everyone and their dog, you know, City, PSG, Arsenal. I don't know for Man United, but Man United, maybe even Liverpool, even though it looks like they're looking at a right winger. Everyone who's got a couple of pennies to put together will throw their hat into the Vinicius race. So I don't necessarily buy that. And I don't really care. It's above my pay grade. I ain't an accountant. I'm not a transfer expert. But what are the knock-on effects? Because cool, I'm gassed with Vinny if we sign him. But that doesn't move me when I get beyond that excitement. We're going for centre mid. One person drops in that centre mid. We're in issues. I don't need to tell you we need a defensive reinforcement. I guess the club, I've already said, striker, I'd park off the next summer. But there's elements of a striker, of course. We're not really going to bring major money in unless you sell a Wanyeri, but the Gabriel Jesuses, the Fabio Vieiras, the Reece Nelsons, you add all of their weekly wages and yearly salaries up, it might help you pour those resources onto a Vinny Jr. Vinny Jr. is understood to be on around 400k per week. Should he sign for Arsenal, that would change the conversation around a contract renewal for Declan Rice. Now, obviously, those of you that are sensible are sensible. That doesn't mean Declan Rice or any key player that's in talks or in line for a new deal at Arsenal is going to go, oh, Vinny's got this, I want that. No, they're going to look at it and say, the one commonality Vinicius Jr. and Declan Rice would have is you're two of the first names on the team sheet, you're two star players. I want to be paid appropriately. And as much as I'm an Arsenal fan, when we look at the wider world of football, it's a dirty game. Agents, managers, clubs, advisors, players, everybody's lying to each other. So if anyone deserves the money, it's the players in it. So you have to be prepared of what comes with that and the knock-on effects, people. So yeah, we're going to get into that. Arsenal are going all in for Vinny. And I listen, I've seen you lot getting giddy on social media. We're going to read the David Ornstein thing. I'm excited, but excited for what, really and truly? Because again, we'll get into it. But when you look at the actual headline that's drawn our attention and you read things, nothing's really going on at this moment in time. But we're going to get there. Arsenal are going all in for Vinny Jr. He's their top priority. They believe it's now or never to sign a superstar that can win them the Champions League. And again, obviously, I want real like ready-made signings, but for argument's sake, you know, last summer it was with Rodrigo, right? Rodrigo was in Brazil, showed a bit of potential, they bought him. Vinny the same. We were linked to Morgan Rogers, he came from Middlesbrough. Elise was there at Crystal Palace, he's obviously taking it to another level by Munich. Of course, you want to put those big money signings on the table, but you see what I'm saying? These players have to start somewhere. Who knows, man? New chin, new football club, England lifestyle. I don't believe it, but I like the illusion, people. I don't believe it. I'll be real. And I'm not giving any beyond having a conversation with you lot until I see if it was bids accepted, rejected, holding shirts. That's where it stops for me. The illusion of Vinny, I'm going to go sign you on Football Manager. Meeting scheduled on Monday between Real Madrid and Vinny to discuss his contract renewal. Arsenal waiting to see what happens. Now, again, what's being reported, as we've seen, you know, you would have thought Rodgers, Arsenal. What's reported in the tabloids and what's going on in the real world of football are different things. We don't know Vinny. We don't know Vinny. We don't know this person. We don't know that. So we don't really know. Of course, bro, you don't know me. We grab a Brazilian youth. These are the guys I want at this football club. Vinny's a cunt. Pardon my French. We need that. He's got the ability, the superstarness, build the team around him. He's wavy. I want this. Of course I want this. But I can't get giddy because I know all the dominoes that have to fall. And this ain't going to happen so far. And again, as much as I'm excited, DNB, yeah, as I said, Vinny feels like a pipe dream. You're chasing Bruno. It comes down to the peas. You put the peas on the table. You can have who you want. Morgan Rogers, we weren't prepared to go that far. I'm missing something out. Julian Alvarez, we're chasing a man that wants Barca as his first priority, which kind of takes me to a Rafinha and a Nico Williams. If we do get Vinny, though, blood, Brasillo. Hey, I can't get excited. I'm going to sign your Football Manager. I can't get excited. Real Madrid are considering a sale that we still don't know about because they can't fit everyone in the team. They will sell several players before Vinny. They'll get 1-2 loan fees. They're selling, what's my man's name, man? The striker they had in the Club World Cup, and he's obviously gone Fulham. They're going to sell him. There's probably some random young players that they're going to sell. Nico Paz. There's a couple other, you know, Real Madrid, they sell them Spanish players and they do the buyback. There's that. They will sell a Chouameni who signed a new deal. Another one Jose wants to keep. They will sell a Camavinga. These kind of ones in my opinion, before they get rid of Vinny. I get it. There is some rhetoric between you can't have Mbappe and Vinny as the star man. Something's got to give, but it's Real Madrid. You've got to put your own egos, if that was the case, to the side. So I don't want to there's nothing to get excited about, brutally. Beyond talking with you, look what Vinny could be. There's genuinely nothing. And if you think I'm capping, remember what I said at the beginning, yeah? Look at the headline and actually look at what he said, people. Big up you lot, smash the comments. We're going to get into that. Arsenal exploring deal for Real Madrid winger Vinicius Jr. Oh my God, we're exploring a deal. Oh my God. And on one hand, we're pissed off. You're always exploring and monitoring and talking with agents and getting certain deals done, and then it's not done. But that will gas us. The picture, Real Madrid, is lit. But when you get beyond that headline, people, and I read this out to you, you have to tranquilo. Arsenal are exploring a move to sign Real Madrid winger Vinicius Jr. if he does not extend his contract in the Spanish capital. So what happens if he does extend it? We're hearing or led to believe Monday's decisive, innit? We don't know what his priority is. Cool. If Vinny says, you know what, I'm 26 years of age, I've been at Real Madrid, it's difficult to leave Real Madrid, you know, I want a new experience, fuel to the fire. PSG should be getting involved. There's fuel to the fire there. But why would you want to leave Real Madrid? Like, he's got an affiliation there. And I don't know him. He could want to leave. But he's got an affiliation there. You've got Jose Mourinho there. Surely you would want to leave on a kind of high when you've won something. Maybe you just want to be paid appropriately. You know, not that you're watching everyone, but Mbappe's coming, star man, all these things happening. I need a bit early. Show me I'm important, sort of thing, innit? So we're exploring a move if he does not sign a contract at Real Madrid or extends his contract at Real Madrid. That's very different from we're just going for, man. We're exploring. So what if tomorrow we wake up, he signed a new deal? It goes nowhere. And then it's all fun and games saying we tried and all of that, but it doesn't help. And you know what? Big up the Arsenal fans, because I do see some people tweeting, oh, I like the ambition. And even if we don't sign him, I'm proud. I'm not proud. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. What does that do? Because if we're in the Champions League final again, can we go, hey, get warmed up? We almost signed Vinny. Get warmed up. That don't help. You get where I'm going, man. Anyways, people, the Brazil international 26 figures prominently among multiple candidates for the Premier League champions to bolster their attack. That said, the deal and the interest is at an early stage, and there's no guarantee it materializes into a deal. So, as I was saying, to reiterate, as I said, you get excited. Arsenal exploring a deal for Real Madrid winger Vinicius Jr. Then it says if he does not extend his contract at Real Madrid. Then he says the interest is at a very early stage and there's no guarantee it materializes into a deal. There have been no club-to-club talks yet, but the idea has the approval at all levels within Arsenal. Okay, so that is one thing that I would say in general gasses me, because that tells me we've the money and the sell-on clause and the knock-on effect and all of that. Everybody's on board if there's a deal to be done. But that's very different from we're going from regardless. If you say no, you say no, but we're going from regardless. This is just we're preing what's going on. We've all been there. We've tried to talk to a girl. They're in a relationship. You've sat off. You've left her alone, and then you might shout her every now and again. What, you're still with my man? And then at some point she's gonna go, oh no, I'm not. And you're like, oh my God, really? That's looking like what we're trying to do. Like, really, I can't believe that. What are we saying though? You wanna go for drinks? That is looking like what we're doing. Allegedly, I've never done that. Maybe Juju's in the chat. I think that's his thing, innit? But yeah. Vinny Jr. is into the last 12 months of his terms after 8 campaigns, and there's been no breakthrough in negotiations over renewal. Real Madrid will not want, what word is that? Countenance? Will not want to countenance. I tried, people. Losing the forward for free, especially as he would be due a significant loyalty bonus next season. Vinny had a good World Cup. I'm not going to waste your time with that. Of course, 22 goals across all comps entices me. They finished the second consecutive season empty-handed. Second again. Ole, Vinny, come over here. We don't know about that second stuff no more. Come over here, bro. Please. 375 appearances for Real Madrid, 128 goals, 100 assists. So it's wavy. Jose Mourinho would oppose Arsenal move for Vinny Jr. Premier League champions are exploring a deal for Real Madrid and Brazil forward. Jose Mourinho would oppose Arsenal signing Vinicius Jr. this summer, as the newly returned Real Madrid manager has told the club he wants all his big names to stay. The forward has been discussed as a potential transfer target for Arsenal, currently in the midst of an underwhelming transfer window. There have been no talks between the two clubs about Vinny 26, although his current contract situation would naturally give some hope to a potential suitor. Arsenal's interest, first revealed by The Athletic, is understood to be genuine. Nevertheless, sources have indicated Mourinho has made it clear to Real Madrid's hierarchy he wants all his core squad players in the situ and out of the conversation when it comes to sales. Vinny represents a problem for Real Madrid in that he is out of contract at the end of June next year and in negotiation. And and negotiations on the new deal have made little progress. There are also questions over his relationship with Mourinho in light of the Gianluca Pessanti episode last season. I mean, the Argentine players hardly cover themselves in any glory, in anything they do, innit? Regardless, Mourinho is adamant that he wants Vinicius, Mbappe, and Jude Bellingham in his team. Real Madrid are also interested in Rodri, as we know. What a coup that would be. I think Barcelona needed more than Real Madrid. The interest in Vini will give some encouragement to Arsenal fans that the club are responding to Mikel Arteta's appeal for a decisive summer. I mean, yeah, but you can be linked with Morgan Rogers, Vinicius, Julian Alvarez, this one, that one. Big up Zolis, because we have brought him. It don't move me. It moves me when man are signed. Then we can talk about things, people. The Arsenal manager said in his press conference after the Champions League final defeat he made that he wanted the club to strengthen his squad. We brought in Zolis. We didn't get Morgan Rogers. We have signed the second choice keeper, Millier. Signing Vinicius would present problems beyond Mourinho's opposition to the deal. He's understood to be on about 400k per week. Must be nice, innit? That would change the conversation around a contract renewal for Declan Rice, Arsenal standout player last season. The club also need to negotiate a new deal for Arteta. We do. My opinion, my personal opinion, I actually think Arteta signed his new deal. We're just waiting on pitches and all of that kind of stuff. Sales remain a priority at Arsenal. Trossard has left for Besiktas, but there are many others in the squad of whom Arsenal would like to generate a sale. The last financial year includes a 268 million of transfer fees in the summer window last year. Real Madrid are believed to be interested in RB Leipzig window, as it says here, albeit winger Yan Diomande, who would represent a return to Spain. So yeah, people, I mean, it all depends what you read. Since his first season at Real Madrid in 2018-19, only Mbappe, in brackets, with 462 shot involvements, 80 goal involvements, has been involved in more shots following a carry or goals following a carry than he has, whatever the hell that means, 441 shot involvements, 56 goal involvements across the top 5 European leagues than Vinicius Jr. So this just reflects that Vinny, what we already know with your eyes, he's a key player for Real Madrid and a match winner. Vinny tops both rankings in the Champions League, however, with 159 shot involvements and 22 goal involvement rankings following a ball carry. So, I mean, it would be great for us if we could get that. We have gone over that with Declan Rice. Once again, Jose has told Real Madrid to keep Vinny. Jose told them, don't sell him to Arsenal. So, yeah, man, I believe when I see it. We have heard Arsenal are set to make a £70 million bid for Bruno Guimaraes. His preference is Arsenal. Arsenal want him. Personal terms are not an issue. We know Newcastle are not going to let him go for 70 million. The biggest question is probably what is Arsenal's absolute maximum they'll go for Guimaraes. Until I see that, we can talk about Vinny, we can talk about Guimaraes, we can talk about this one, that one, to a blue in the face. It doesn't move me because none of them are here for pre-season so far. And if the season started tomorrow, they're not here. The window isn't closed, granted, make it happen. How unsure over Guimaraes amid Arsenal interest? Eddie Howe says he has had positive discussions with Guimaraes, but is unable to offer any guarantees on the captain's future. I mean, putting the manager in a difficult position, he's done well. What can he say? I've had some really good conversations with him before the World Cup, during the World Cup, and after the World Cup. What we speak about has to remain private, but he's just a great player and a great person. I don't know what's going to happen with Bruno's future. That's for other people to speculate about. They are conversations that I'm not part of. And he's due to return to Newcastle on Friday and fly out with the squad for their pre-season preparations in Spain, people. In relation to, because no doubt we've seen Gordon leave, which was, I think Eddie Howe was quite interesting towards the back of last season because I didn't know Gordon would go Barcelona, but he kept saying stuff. And Eddie Howe and managers, they don't really say stuff specifically. He kept saying, Gordon's not going to be here. We have to learn to live without him. So, yeah, there's obviously that. And then obviously Isaac is the one when you think of Newcastle because of simply how it turned cold, isn't it? You've got to look at it in its own right. Sorry, there's nothing to say Bruno won't be back training with us. You've got to look at it in its own right. Bruno is the captain of our football club. He's been an unbelievable player and person all through the time we've worked together. I speak on behalf of everyone at the football club. We absolutely love him. And of course, everyone will want him to stay, people. So yeah, people, obviously they need to bring players in. They've let players go. It is what it is. So again, Romano did say, trust me, behind the scenes, Mikel Arteta is pushing like crazy to sign Guimaraes. Arteta considers Guimaraes as a perfect player for Arsenal midfield. I know people criticize Arteta for a lot. But if that's the case, you've done all you can, bro. You've done all you can. Like, this is for Berta, Josh Kroenke, them kind of man. Your only job is to make sure, get us prepared for next season. Obviously, if we was to sign a player, away from dotting I's, crossing T's, and getting the actual and actually getting the business done. Naturally, the only way Arteta gets involved in conversations is talking to a potential player, how you're going to look in the team, getting a feel for him as a character, all of that kind of jazz. Beyond that, bro, it's down to these men to earn their P's, isn't it, really and truly? Apparently, we played a behind closed door friendly against MK Dons and we won 3-0, people. Big up my boy. Reece Nelson scored. Zolas technically made his debut. Apparently, Wanyeri curled in a fine second just before the break. So, yeah, you lot do your thing, man. You lot do your thing. And I saw this, and just because it makes me laugh, people, just because I think this is funny, in the topic of silly season, yeah, just like, really, could we have the white Sol Campbell? Christian Romero to Arsenal. Arsenal are interested in signing Tottenham hotshot defender Christian Romero this summer. Really? Fair play, man. So, yeah, man, we got out of there. What are you lot saying? Appreciate you, Terry, man. Appreciate the Twitch gang. Vinny doing a Rooney to get a new deal at Madrid. Big up, DJ. I'm putting this Vinny one. What are you saying there? I'm putting this Vinny one in there. I'll believe it when I see it, foul. I'm with you as well, Rob, with that. I see City getting both Bruno and Vinny Jr. It's doable if he don't sign the Connie, in my opinion. Him and Diamande, same agent. He's had issues with Madrid all year. Yeah, but if the man wants to stay, then the agent's got to do what the client wants. Of course, things can change and whatnot. But yeah, hyper appreciate you. Death taxes and some of my mods always being here, man. Big up 2-3 as well. Why is the Bruno G deal taking so long? I don't know. I'm here with you lot, man. Selling Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli would free up around 500 grand a week in wages. Paying Vinicius for 400k a week would be great. And is a Vinny Jr. deal realistic in your opinion? If all the dominoes fell, like Real Madrid want to sell him, he wants to leave and he wants to listen to Arsenal, then yes, I believe we could get it done. As it'll be a tough ask. At this moment in time, I don't think Arsenal are signing him. I don't. I want to be wrong. I am not Berto. I don't know what's going on. I didn't think we'd get Alexis Sanchez. I didn't think we'd get Ozil. I didn't think we'd get Bamian. There's another one that I'm missing out. So maybe, I didn't even think we'd get Rice. So maybe I'm a positive omen. But again, beyond just a conversation here, temporary dopamine, when you actually read the article, like again, to reiterate the point, because I know a lot of you are joining people. Once again, look at the headline. Arsenal exploring a deal for Real Madrid winger Vinicius Jr. And then it says, if he doesn't extend his contract in the Spanish capital, and then it says the interest is at an early stage and there's no guarantee it materializes into a deal. There's no club-to-club talks yet, but it has the approval. So is Monday decisive in the Vinny Jr. contract stuff? I don't know. Because if we're finding out generally that Arsenal have interest in him, then when did the actual football, because we're just fans, when did the actual footballing world know? Has this been something that's been rumbling? I don't know, people. And even if it was to happen, this is going to be one dragged out saga, really and truly. DJ is gassed if Vinny signs. If it wouldn't change the convo, Vinny is literally the best left winger in the world. We'll pip you to Vinny like we pipped you to Rodgers. Have fun with Rodgers, man. Great. It's the only way Chelsea have been beating us recently in the transfer market. Pick up to Rodgers. He wants to develop with no pressure. The joke's on you because we're going to sign him in about 3 years when he flops for like 20 million quid. I'm hating, of course. New chin, new club. Don't be fooled by the Arsenal board. They won't sign anyone apart from Zolis, mark my words. They started with Alvarez to Rodgers, then Bruno, Diamande, then now Vinny, just playing tricks with fans. This has been going on for ages in the background. I hope so. This ain't happening. Arteta can't manage Vinny, no chance. Rice is on 240k, given 4 years with 285k. I'll leave the renewals to the experts here. It's April Fools. Rodgers' fee we were unable. Bruno, we can't pay. Now Vinny being cheated. I hear you, but in argument's sake here, for argument's sake, in the club's defense, they didn't think Rodgers, whether he's worth it or not, and I've already disagreed with this, like, they didn't think Rodgers was worth matching Chelsea's offer. They have a hardline fee, clearly, of what they believe with Bruno. Vinny's a bit different because you have to be prepared to pay whatever they're asking for. And if you're not, just leave it. And he's got a year left on his deal, which doesn't really help us, but it kind of helps us. But beyond that, 60% chance this will happen. So you think it's more likely than not. I'll give it 0 right now, if I'm honest, or 10% just because of David Ornstein coming out. Why I say 0? There's no club-to-club talks. There's no fee being agreed. There's no bid accepted or rejected. It seems like for all of this, it's around Vinny signing contracts. There's several moving parts. We've seen Jose wants him. Of course, I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But for me, there's nothing to be excited about, really, beyond what he could be in theory. There's not like, what is there to be excited about? Wages are 400k. I can't see it. We win more currently than Real Madrid. Can afford him 1 year left. Diamande to Madrid. Samba connection. How many more clues we need? Real Madrid could say 150 million for a player with 1 year left. Yeah, agreed. It's all on Vinny now. We'll most likely hear more next week after their meeting. Will Vinny want to work under Jose? It's funny how people think this could happen. It's clear it could possibly work out. Gotta love Arsenal PR. Look how they're trying to pacify the fan base for the lack of credible signings. Big up DG. Give him a big sign-on bonus to subsidize the wages. Bruno, G, and Vinny, I need 4 buses in the parade, 1 for each trophy. Arsenal are a stingy club, can't pay any fee, just talks, nothing more. The Arsenal are serious about this, but it's down to Vinny. So, again, go for Vinny if you want. Go for Alvarez. Go for these top targets. Just make sure that when the window closes, worst comes to worst. Oh, yeah, we were linked with Vinny. It didn't go to nowhere. Oh, we was linked with Alvarez. It didn't go nowhere. Oh, we didn't get Rodgers. We didn't get Guimaraes. But I've got these profiles in the team. And ultimately, we can get away from that. We feel like we can really make a goal of retaining the Premier League, going one better in the champs, and trying to win anything that we're involved in it. Simple as that for me. The shirt sales will pay for most of his wages. He ain't happy there. Over 20 plus officially recorded incidences, mainly racism. He wants to leave or pay him a madness. To be fair, I didn't consider the racism point, but to be, unfortunately, because of Vinicius Jr., like a lot of people, you've probably faced extreme prejudice in Brazil. You obviously every week get abused in Spain. Now, there's still racism in England. We're not gonna act like this is a utopia. And I don't want to speculate on things I don't know, but that could be a plus point because you're less likely to be called certain things here. And even with Argentina versus Spain, people are moving like Spain's a utopia. If I'm completely honest, it shows you how much people just Argentina have displayed themselves as probably the biggest. I think they're the biggest footballing villains at any level in my lifetime, And do you know what's funny? Because I was going on a lot of Argentinian Twitter and their social medias and listening to how the players after the World Cup spoke and via a VPN going on Argentina radio stations and that. And I don't know the term, but I think they've got, is it Stockholm syndrome? Because anybody that's not connected to Argentina can see a lot moving mad. Them I think they done nothing wrong, Life is mad. I said Rodgers walked so Vinny could run. Berta pump fake the wallets. I hope so, man. Make it happen, Berta says, Matt. Vinny would be loved at London. He would flourish like Sanchez if it works, bro. That left-hand side could be naughty, bro. Whether it's Rice or Lewis Skelly in midfield, whether it's Hincapié overlapping or probably a Calafiori, Vinny over there. Could be nasty, man. It could be nasty, man. It could be nasty. But again, this is as far as it goes for me, if I'm honest. No, we need signings like Vinny now. No games. This ain't a PR stunt. It would break trust with the fans and club. It's been happening for a while in the background. I hope so, bro. I hope so. But for me, as I said, I don't want to keep repeating the same things. Put him in. When I see him in the Arsenal shirt, I'll give this the time of day in it. If I'm completely honest, I'll give this the time of day. Other than that, I ain't trying to hear nothing, bro. 500k a week is what he wants. Yeah, you're gonna want more than what you're on at Real Madrid naturally. Who leaves a job? Obviously, people leave jobs and go to clubs for different reasons. But logically, you lot and me the same. Why would you leave a job and earn less wages and not want more? Come on. You're gonna be one of the most marketable players. You have to start talking about image rights and all these things. You're gonna want that sign-on bonus. You're gonna want those wages. You're gonna want those achievable bonuses. You're gonna want all of that. And this is where Arsenal, of course, we have to be self-sustaining. We're not gonna, if we did sign a Vinny kind of guy every year. But this is where now we have to look at the structure and what we want to do. I've told you a lot before. If I look at the market now, this is why player sales. This is why our academy needs to generate more. This is why we need to start buying players from the 4 corners of the world. If they make it at Arsenal, great. But if you buy them low, sell them high, look at player trading. Spurs are making a change. Chelsea are doing madness and moving Buki. We need to revamp our loan structure. We probably need feeder clubs. This is where Josh Kroenke and them, man, because it's really on them. I reckon Berta's pitched that. Arteta's probably pitched that. He's been at the City group. You have to look at that. One thing I think is underrated, like what Chelsea got with Strasbourg in France, bro. We could get one of those little French teams, respectfully, and they're under our little circuit. When you're getting these players from the 4 corners of the world, they're playing in Liga. When you've got, I'm just saying random things, but like a Wanyeri who needed first team football, he can go play in a physical league in Liga. I've said this before. When you actually look at the top 5 leagues, yeah, people always do this. What's that word they talk about, man? Farmers League and all this jazz. And then you want players from said Farmers League. One thing I think people underrate about the French league is the physicality. It's quite akin to the Prem. I ain't got no statistics to go off, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, if you look at a lot of players, they don't have to necessarily be French, but either French internationals or French nationals or players that have played in France, when they come to England, they probably have the best success rate collectively in comparison to the other remaining 4 leagues coming to England, if I'm honest. So I'm going left with the conversation, but you get the point, man. So yeah, man. Sadiq, appreciate you for being a member again, man. When personal terms are agreed with Vinny, then you can get excited. Nice too. And I won't get excited personal terms, bro. Because one thing I don't worry about with Arsenal is personal terms. Now, obviously, Vinicius is another kettle of fish. I reckon you patterned personal terms with Rodgers. I don't think it will be a problem with Vinny. Obviously, it's a bit different because we've been talking about structure. Bruno Guimaraes, I don't think that's an issue. You know, Caicedo, when we was chasing him before he went Chelsea, that's not an issue. It's the P's. What do they want? How far are we prepared to go? Is it going to happen? That's when I'll be excited. When actually a bid's gone in. Or Vinny, something's going on. That's when I get excited. Beyond that, bro, personal terms aren't moving me. Do you know how many players probably, because a lot of in football, yeah, we only see the moves that happen. Like, for example, Telemans went Man United. I'm just saying random things. There's many a time he could have been within a whisker of going City, but we don't know that. They might have even offered him more sort of thing. So we don't know what's going on in the real world of football. These things happen. We always see players come out and say when they retired, oh, I was meant to go here. I could have went there. Personal terms don't move me. So yeah, this PR would hurt the club, my friend. You don't play with stuff like this. The club spent time and effort to win, paying fans back, trust back. They'll make the money back through shirt sales. I don't disagree with that. But if I'm being devil's advocate, and I hear you, we're allowed to be frustrated. If our highlight of the summer is just being linked with Vinny, chasing Julian Alvarez, who wants Barcelona, failed pursuit of Morgan Rogers, Bruno at this moment, how far we prepared to go. I get that. But for argument's sake, the club ain't come out. The club have come out and said things like we can't rest on our laurels, all that kind of stuff when the season was just ending. But they haven't come out and said anything in relation to this. And unfortunately, I'm not saying you're wrong, but people would have to get on with it. Like, we'll scream and shout, but will we still be screaming and shouting in June? Because we've seen it before. Now it's different because we're Premier League champions, but you get the point. Mourinho defended racial slurs on Vinny. Now he's talking. I don't believe that part. But Vinicius was suggested to Liverpool, but they don't want to proceed because they're lacking a right wing up and Jacobs. Yeah, I mean, someone else go and play on the right-hand side. If Vinny's available, you try to have it. Does Vinny know about this? Exactly. Because Vinny, Arteta, Berta, everyone at Real Madrid could really have read this with the greatest respect to David Ornstein because he clearly knows his finger a lot and think you're chatting. We don't know. No one's ever going to come out and verify or unverify this. And to be honest with you, if I was Berta or if I was working in the world of football, you'd be a fool to come out and talk about this. What, like, get on with your day, innit? Who is our backup option if we don't sign Vinny? I don't know. Scouts, do your job. You start stacking pros, cons, Real Madrid or Arsenal, it's like 2-10. We have more pros to offer. That's Real Madrid, bro. Andre, one love. It's Real Madrid, bro. No chance. Obviously, we're an attractive proposition. We're one of the better ones in the world, right? It's Real Madrid, cuz. Right? It's Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid. It's the Europe. It's the final destination of any footballer. Big Gabby and Bruno G say to Vinny, come join the Brazilian team, home from home. They must be talking to one another. I hope this happens. Yeah, but it's down to the individual. Nelson always scores in pre-season. He does. You know, at this point, I admire it from Reece Nelson, bro. You've been here since Arsene Wenger. I admire the hustle. I actually admire the flipping hustle, mate. I really do. I can't even hate on them. Alexis Sanchez is coming home. There's so much alike. Big up DG and DG Nation. TW right back at you. Now, what are you saying here? Please, people, can we make sure when you're typing that we're just taking a second to spell check stuff? Now I was asked to take the absolute piss. I think you mean want us to take the absolute piss and get him for 117 million euros, not pounds. I want to see Chelsea fans suffer and burn inside. Can't lie, I understand the banter, bro. But like some of you, I'm not saying you only, but some of you fans, like the first thing you think of is I want to, whatever club you support, I want to attack the pagans or whatever. I think it's weird, bro. Like if we sign Vinny, obviously you can go and chat shit, but don't give a fuck about Chelsea, even if I'm honest with you. When the excitement dies down, then yeah, what? It would be lovely. Like what? You man spent 117 on Rodgers. Has he played like what's he done? You got Vinny and that. Wait, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe we're getting Vinny? 0. And I hope I'm wrong, you know. He doesn't want 400k, he wants 500k. Junior's coming to Spurs. Okay, it's more likely to go to Arsenal. If we sell Reece and Jesus, we can pay for Vinny for sure. Why aren't we selling Reece and Jesus yet? Are they going to milk us? Bro, we don't know what's going on. Martinelli punching hot air right now. Rodgers walks so Vinny could run. Bro, you're not going to pay him the same fees, man. Man, it's confirmed Junior is going to Spurs. Big up Catchy. Just make sure you're smashing the like button if you're trying shit, man. If Vinny chooses us, we are forever the biggest club in London. Come be the main man, Vinny. Let's get that Ballon d'Or you deserve. SI, one love, Manny, one love. Vinny can't play for Jose, surely after Jose's comments. I hear that, but let's be real, man. In all walks of life, bro. Like, in all walks of life. Especially, like, let's have it right, especially for us minorities, bro. Man are probably working with racists, rubbing shoulders with racists, like, or people have said, I don't want to accuse anyone of anything, of saying questionable things, bro. Like, let's have it right. Like, he's gonna have to get on with it. I'm not saying it's right, but it don't really move me. Unfortunately, it's one of those things in the working world. Like, you're gonna have to just get on with it. And I would also say one thing that I think about the book: nobody cares, bro. Like, it's not just him. There's bare black youths that could have thought, oh, you're a bit shaky, Jose. They're gonna have to get on with it. Jude Bellingham, true. Well, he's mixed race, got black, but Jude Bellingham, true. I mean, he come got this one. You have to get on with it. Like, nobody cares. And how many times have we seen in football? If there's one aspect of life that does not care, bro, football. You've got people that do madness with women still kicking ball, people that are doing all sorts of fuckery, bro, all sorts. We had Thomas Partey. I don't want to get into it, but morality on football don't exist, bro. It don't. Let's have it right. And unfortunately with Vinny, bro, there's racism in Brazil, there's racism in Spain. You probably had racist coaches and all this kind of crap. It's not going nowhere, bro. It don't really, it might give him stuff, but yeah, man. It was an internal discussion, probably just Arteta and Berta sitting in a room figuring out who's available. Vinny's name came up, nothing to be excited about. Don't you also think there's a reason why Arsenal didn't buy Rodgers? What if they realized they could get Vinny and pulled out on Rodgers? I hope so, but I just think they didn't. They like Rodgers. They had their little fee in mind. They didn't want to match shot. They still could have got Rodgers. They didn't think he's worth 170 million. I'm not like, that's the reality. Now, if he goes and shells it down, they're going to have to hold that. They did not think Donny was worth it. It's just like when Kvaratskhelia was offered around to all of the top clubs in England and abroad for 10 million. Man didn't think he's worth it. Someone takes a chance. They didn't think he's worth it. What is the hard line? That's the thing. How much is the absolute maximum for Guimaraes? What was your maximum for Rodgers? In which Rodgers is a lesson for speed. Again, don't know all the mechanics behind the deal. I'm just an armchair expert, but just from what you read, the first thing I look at in hindsight, which is 2020, you snooze, you lose. Had you have been the first to move for Bruno before Tonali and this one and Gordon, we could like Spurs got Tonali in it. We're chasing Guimaraes. The roles could have been reversed. We could have got Guimaraes, and it's them lot doing this stuff where Willie won't he with Tonali. If you really believed you could have got Rodgers for 80 or 100 million, then you should have tied that up in June when we heard talk started before the World Cup. Before, obviously, I don't know if they could have predicted this, but 116 for this one and that one, and rightly so. Aston Villa are going to go, oh, we're going to sell him for how much? Remix that. So, speed, all of these kind of things. But they have to have several targets and several plans. Plan A, Plan C, Plan B, Plan E, etc., etc. Just make sure when the window closes, we feel like we can, we've improved our squad. Level raisers and squad depth. It's as simple as that. There's a reason Arsenal's the Bank of England club, mate. If you have the finances for Vinny, I think you could go for Kvaratskhelia. But Kvaratskelia's got no reason to leave PSG. Do I think he could be like if he parked off whatever he wants to do and about PSG for a sec? Like, I'm putting myself in Kvaratskelia's views. Arteta and Arsenal chat to me. Oh, I've bucked them 1-2 times in Europe. Good team, Premier League champions. I see what Arteta is doing tactically. There's the London aspect. I'm sure my wife would love that. There's the Premier League aspect. I might not get PSG wages, probably have to because he's one of those stars, but I'll get a competitive salary. That being said, them man have just won their first title. I've got 2 Champions Leagues. As he keeps saying, anything you read with Kvaratskhelia, people, anything you read. My wife is comfortable in Paris. I'm here with Luis Enrique. I've said before, I think they're going to win the champion. I think they're going to do the 3P in it. So by default, they're my favorites for next year. Obviously, I'd hope we do it. You've got no reason to leave, bro. Forgive me for sounding pessimistic, but I can't just do the Arsenal cap thing. You have to kind of look at all of it. Pardon me. I don't think Vinny would want to work with Jose, especially with the racism thing last year. But then even that, I'm not saying I'm happy with Jose because he let me down. You're going to defend, you're done. Like, I'm sure there's some Man United fans. You don't look any different at Alex Ferguson, do you? Remember when he defended Peter Schmeichel? And you don't look at Schmeichel different. Remember when he defended Schmeichel over the racism thing? Chelsea fans, John Terry, and we probably had a couple as well. Every club, like, let's stop doing all of this. Like, football's immoral, bro. Football more is a mirror society. There's all different levels of racism. And again, going back to what I said, unfortunately, in the grand scheme of things, no one cares, bro. Like, they do not care. Like, football of all things, if there's one thing they don't care about, it's therefore racism to me. To this, innit? Like, it is what it is. Exactly, these. Arsenal need to make sure we got good players in before the transfer window ends. Arsenal aren't like, we can't afford or can't pay. It's more like they don't want to. I mean, they're working on the Walmart philosophy. I mean, that's purely run by data. Catch won't leave PSG. Exactly, man. Vinny can easily pay Vinny 500k. I think you mean Arsenal. Same amount Salah was getting at Liverpool and what Haaland is currently without wages. And then there's also the City aspect, even though they ain't been linked, man. Bro, I don't think he's leaving. But at least it gives us something new to talk about. I'd say that's the happiest thing, man. It's boring talking about who do we keep. Well, Rodgers is gone, but we're still licking our wounds over Rodgers. Every now and again, well, it's still Bukola links. Nico Williams is back on the market, or back in the market where links are concerned. Diamande, granted, ironically, been linked with Real Madrid as well. There was him. It just gives us another name to discuss at the very least, man, without doing our heads in, man. It's insane how many people disrespect Martinelli and some Trossard. Our left wing had more GA than our right wing in every comp last season. Yeah, Saka weren't there. Down was a you and none shit. That's true. Vinny will sell shirts for Arsenal. His shirt sales could pay his transfer fee. But PTSD, I hear it. I've seen it happen to us too much in the past. Until you're in the shirt, it's just words. But I like, that's it. And again, I don't want to keep saying the same things. Please remove your excitement. Arsenal exploring a deal for Real Madrid winger Vinicius Jr. if he does not extend his contract in the Spanish capital. That said, the interest is at an early stage and there is no guarantee it materializes into a deal. There have been no club-to-club talks yet, but the idea has the approval of all levels within Arsenal. So, within those 3 paragraphs, like, what is there to forgive me? What genuinely, I'm asking, what is there to be excited about Vinny to Arsenal? It's another thing if he signs for us, but like, yeah, just because sponsor right income 50% of Vinny that currently are 50 mil a year, Arsenal would love to sign him, but Vinny is demanding 48 mil a year from Real Madrid. You lot going to do that with your wage structure in this PSR and FSR era? Yeah, good luck, man. We're not going to. But I don't think we're choosing. One thing that Arsenal are not in problems with is wages. Like, that PSR crap doesn't affect us, if I'm completely honest. And to be fair, again, in terms of football being immoral, bro, there's money in the game. I personally think I understand the logic between generating your own wealth and actually you look at Newcastle, they have fucked up their own stuff, and actually Aston Villa, but let's have it right. Them things that are in place to stop someone becoming the new Manchester City. Respectfully to City, little man club, P's come in, Pep Guardiola, the rest is history. Some would say that around Chelsea. So if I'm completely honest, that's probably just to protect apologies, the traditional top 6. Everyone's got vested interests, but football's this is a dirty game, you know. Once you take off and this is why we can have a laugh and a joke, but whatever club you support, when you take off your tribal cap and look at what football is, it's not this utopia. None of our football clubs are these utopias. Remember, they're football clubs and establishments run by individuals like us. And with the amount of money in the game at all levels, there's never going to be some of you get you want and some of you won't. No, you're right. We are only told what they want us to be told. But I never accused Jose of anything. Big up DG. It's great to know that there's interest in Vinny, but for me, the signing of Bruno G is more important. DG, not every deal is the same. In this situation, salary agreement is more important than transfer fee. Vinicius on a big wage. Transfer fee is easier because he is in his last year contract. Is it really? Is it? Because once again, we don't know what Vinny wants to do. We don't understand. We don't know how far Real Madrid are to take it. How many players have approached the decisive summer like this, where you're going to be a free agent and teams can talk to you for free in January? How many players have been like this, where granted they've run down their contract pre-agreements, but how many times have players run down their deals and signed new deals? Like, personal terms are not going to be an issue. Respectfully, I disagree, bro. The transfer fee is what makes the most sense. 1 year don't mean fuck all to me, if I'm completely honest, because you're still looking at anything you think you would have paid for Rodgers, even if Arsenal wanted to pay 117 or whatever they're saying with Bukola, bro. You think you're getting this done for 100 million? Bearing in mind, they did buy him for 40, so there is that. You think you're getting this done for 100 million? This is probably minimum, most conservatively. You're looking at what did Liverpool pay for Isaac? You're looking at something around that. So we could do the copium thing. Are we being used to get Vinny a better contract? I personally think that. I don't feel like Arsenal would have leaked it to Ornstein if it didn't have legs. They know the fans are crashing out. Probably, but this ain't doing nothing, bro. Nah, the league won't get cooked if we get Vinny, man. Obviously, it's in danger, but I very much doubt. Like, I look, bro, we have to get out of this thing of one player signs for a club and then it's all over, bro. Like, it's all over. Because look at Real Madrid, more stars than you can count. They haven't been able to pit Barcelona in the last 2 years to a league title. So it's not just one player everyone runs. Football's a team game. It's 38 games as a minimum. I do hope all the managers and everyone else that's not Arsenal believe that, though. Smash their likes. Nelson and Noni swap deal for Vinny. Shake my hand, Real Madrid. I voted yes in that poll, but I don't believe it right now. I'm trying to manifest. Manifest. Thoughts become things. True, but when you have a choice for less racism and more money, why stay? So you might be comfortable in Real Madrid. And what's this less racism thing? Really? Boy, we'll have to see, man. I'll believe it when I see it, man. Surely David Ornstein wouldn't lie to us unless he knows something. This Vinny deal has legs. I don't think David Ornstein's lied. What's he said? He's not said Arsenal 100% signed him or whatever. He said Arsenal exploring a deal. I think that's feasible. He must lie. I think that's with a lot of clubs. He's also said there's no club-to-club talks. There's no guarantee it materializes into a deal. But in theory, it has the approval at all levels at Arsenal. He ain't lied to us. And this is what I mean, people. Like, obviously, we've been burnt a bit in the summer transfer window. There's a degree of frustration. You will get 2 + 2 and equal 4 if that's what you're using with your brain. Or 2 + 2 is going to equal 100, 17, 5, better different things. If you don't actually just look at what the words are saying. Boy. But I told Ornstein to tell the fans that they are, man. Big up DJ. I really hope we get Vinny after missing out on Rodgers. I'll believe it when I see it, man. We should sell Havertz. I think you're saying Jesus, Noni, Nelly, and Nelson to fund his weekly wages. Thoughts? Well, Noni, you can go. Oh, no, sorry. Nelson, you need to go. If someone came with our money back for Noni, I'd let him go. But I'm going to need you to be a keyword squad player, whatever I think of you. I think we need to hold on to Martinelli for a year for that same rhetoric, even though he is one. I would say Havertz, Nelly, Odegaard, these are players I'd be open to offer. I wouldn't actively force them out the door. Real Madrid will be screwing if PSG do a 3-peat. To be brutally honest, we probably will sign a player from Real Madrid if they do spend all this money. But I'm not saying it'd be a Vinicius, but you might get Odegaard or them kind of names, like the guys who aren't respectfully the superstars. Sniff around for Endrick, man. Big up DG, get Vinny to the carpet. Pat, I hope so, man. Yeah, other clubs will be interested in Vinny. That doesn't mean Arsenal are definitely going to get him or not, but we have a chance. I'm not being funny. Morgan Rogers, all different levels. Morgan Rogers, Bacola, Vinicius, Guimaraes. Pretty girls are wanted by a lot of men, It's only the ugly things that are not. My point being, good footballers are going to draw interest from everybody, bro. We fooled Chelsea to spend 120 on Rogers. Again, drawing better conclusions. DG, did you see that? I'm going to call him Xerxes. Nasty work. He's still hyping preseason. Reece Nelson scored in preseason. We're not doing nothing. I voted no on the poll, but I hope I'm wrong, DG. If Berta and Arsenal do this, I'm never giving out again up the Gunners. But at least 180 million, 150 minimum and upwards. And also, I'm no transfer man, but you got to, what people forget when it comes to signing players is the transfer fee and the wages. Clubs factor in the total impact. So if these signings, in my opinion, it goes against like how we operate as a club. So I say that to say this. This is where Arteta Berta, you got to sing them praises to Josh Kroenke. But this is where Josh Kroenke, what side of history do you want to be on now? Because this will tell me we've properly entered a new era. And go find the next Vinny in Brazil, man, because they got Rodrigo and Vinny early. If the Vinny deal don't happen, then every name after Vinny is a downgrade. Why Arsenal gassed us for no reason? It would feel like that, but we'd have to just get on with it, bro. I don't really care about the transfer market. I want to retain the Premier League, man. If this was anyone else than Ornstein, for maybe Fabrizio, would have swept this under the rug immediately. I actually hope we don't sign that brother strictly for the lockout. You man don't want to win. You don't want to win. You don't want to win. We don't know him as a person. You don't want to win. What kind of bullshit is that? The fuck? Some of the footballers you think got a good attitude. How do you know they're not cunts? As long as you can be a bot, I don't want, man. I like people doing the kumbaya friend thing. Man, I'm not here to be friends, bro. You can be for some of you don't go for work drinks, but in work, you're pally, you pull together for the collective. As long as your ego is not put above the club and it's coming in the right place, one that good youth don't win shit, man. Half of the footballers at all clubs throughout history, they've been cunts. And at some point, these players with X Factor, they're going to have that. Look at Luis Enrique with Dembele. Got him in line immediately. Like, what are we doing here? Obviously, we're not Real Madrid, so like he might act a certain sort of way, but so you might have to get rushed if this did happen. But nah, man. Ops are running scared already. Bruno and Vinny, we can close the window. We'll see everything. Jam window if we need anything. Still need defender. Only deal I see happening is paying over 2 seasons for a serious major signing fee, so his wages are reasonable. Don't need Vinny. You got Zolis. Zolis is cold already. Then your attackers, mate. Your commas and dots are not only for writing. You can take a breather between sentences, brother. Breathing's overrated, man. You're gonna have to get used to it. I'm what I am. I'm not what I'm not. If you don't like it, safe. Appreciate you, though, man. Bro, I don't give a fuck about them getting along, bro. Like, I understand it, but brother, come on, bro. Come on. This is sport. This is bare testosterone on the table. I want that. Because if you bleed in training, combat's easy. My problem is if you want to have the hump with your teammates, it has to come from one, it has to come from a place of love. And two, like if we're in the same team and we're getting into war, if I don't see that same attitude for strangers, there's issues. Forget that, man. And we don't know. What if he's the goodest shoot in there? And we don't know. We do not know. And at some point, if you want these players with X Factor and this, that, and the third, they're going to have these supposed attitude issues. And everyone's got an attitude. Jude Bellingham attitude, Vinicius, Mbappe, the list goes on. We've had it at Arsenal. Vieira had an attitude. He would throw his toys out the pram. Let's have it right. Thierry had that. Campbell had that. What are we doing here? And that's the only reason. Smash the likes, people. Never get players' names. Just know if it happens, it's home, away, and third with Vinny on the back. Unless there's some misunderstanding and fallout with Mourinho, I don't see him leaving Madrid ever. I think transfer fee will be around 130 million. If you got it, this is what I'm saying. I want Vinny, but we know Arsenal don't move like that. We'll get Rodrigo. Bro, to be honest, if you obviously Rodrigo's had an ACL issue or whatever, and he's back. He traded. If you remove the name Vinicius Jr. and put Rodrigo, I'd be a lot more optimistic about this happening, man. We don't know, Kevin. He could be the goodest shoot. He could give a percentage of his wages to charity. He could be the glue, between the older players, the young G's. We don't know nothing. We don't know. Why has he got attitude? He could have an attitude problem. I'm not saying he couldn't be a bastard. He could be a cunt. But we don't know this. Man, I never had a conversation with him. And obviously in sport, you're going to... Man are bipolar, bro. Man are cunts on a football pitch and the nicest shoots ever. You got people like Pepe, the centre-half. Probably helps old ladies across the street. You put him on a football pitch. He's doing mental stuff. No one's buying the players injured, especially for the fees. That's going to happen. Has to be... Oh, my God. Like, Real Madrid got... until you lot said Rodrigo. Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo, potentially Yandy Amande, Jude Bellingham, he can play in attack a bit, but they got bare man. Has to be Mourinho angle too. He would never give us Vinny, but maybe Rodrigo as a surplus. Yeah, but again, he's broken down at the moment. He's definitely going to leave Madrid. Don't see Arsenal getting him. This is the most PSG transfer ever. PSG cooked though. The thing that makes this seem real is that Vinny has played against us and lost, so he knows how good we are. Yeah, man, I ain't got time for that attitude crap, man. There's always players worth breaking the wage structure for. Facts like work. And you just have to pattern the rest of the players. As long as the club doesn't tolerate arrogant disrespect from stars towards others, you're calm. And that's the thing. The only thing I would say, even though I'm clearly not on the side of the attitude stuff, we're not Real Madrid, but just don't think because you're at Real Madrid and you've done all that stuff over there, that because everything's a step down, you can act. Because Real Madrid have been there, done it. There's certain things we've never done. So we're hungry as always. But how far can we talk about a player that's not wearing the red and white? We are men. Getting along ain't the biggest thing in the world. Standing on business is what matters the most. And everyone's friends when you win, bro. The Cronkies know about elite signings from their American teams. The money is not huge to them. And if you're moving to be the best, let's go. I think Bear and Cronkies already have a transfer structure in place regarding wages and fee. We are finally operating like a big club. Big up DJ every time, boss. Appreciate you. It's either he goes for free or Madrid take the best offer, and Real Madrid don't want him to go on the free. Wait, I see, man. But my jaw dropped when I saw Brazilian Serie B and Serie C clubs on YouTube. It literally attracts tens of thousands of live viewers. You know what? They're the games. Well, I ain't watched that, but they're the kind of games that attract me more than away from Arsenal, like the Premier League, if I'm honest. PSG ain't getting him. Vinny will never be okay for Mourinho, especially after the Benfica racism debate. I think they'll get on with it, bro. I can't lie, man. Do you feel like Burr is a downgrade on Eddie? Now we're just staring at each other, awkward in silence. I hope that answers the question, my boy. No. How? There's no way on God's green earth Burr could be a downgrade on Edu. And I think Edu, I don't want to say he's incompetent, but there were several examples of incompetence. Burr, you was my guy last summer. Right now, you haven't made anything happen. But realistically, what has Edu? Cool, Edu was in the Brazilian team. Well, it was working with Brazil, but what's he done in the game? Forget Arsenal for a sec. You know what Burr has done at Atletico? One thing I'll give Burr credit for, away from the transfers last season, there was no, and it will always happen, innit? There will always be players running down contracts. But for us, it was the first season we came into it, in my opinion, with several questions over players' futures. Like whether Wanyeri goes or not, year left on his deal. New deal was signed. Miles Lewis-Skelly, new deal was signed. William Saliba, new deal was signed. Bukayo Saka, new deal was signed. I'm maybe missing out somebody else. Gabriel Magalhaes. So yeah, bro, like Edu is not in the same hemisphere. And if Berto went somewhere else, I'm not saying I'll be monitoring his work and he's doing madness, but what has Edu done? Did he not just get kicked out of where was he? Nottingham Forest. Big up Edu, because I don't want to just shit on him, because I think you showed several areas of incompetence, but there's also stuff that we did well at Edu's time here. And I do think some Arsenal fans, like the things you need to hold smoke for, you hold smoke. But the couple things we did good here, you can't just praise other men. You have to give that to Edu. Like he got Rice, you know, at the time he got Partey done. There's 1-2 other things that were done in it, really and truly, but it's all about improvement. And Berto right now, we're not really happy with anything we've seen in the transfers, but we needed to step up. Berto's that, in it, right or wrong? Nah, man, Berto's better than him, bro. I thought my shit bugged out for a second. I got to entertain you lot, man. Sorry. But yeah, man, you lot go enjoy your weekend, enjoy your Saturday, man. There's no point letting me ramble on about the same talking points. So yeah, first thing, I have to big up all of you lot who comment, all you silent viewers, the members, the moderators. It's a lovely channel that we have here where I can talk with a lot of Arsenal fans around the world and football fans in general, man. So I can't lie, I always find it hard to say goodbye and I always find it hard to thank you lot. But yeah, man, I'm sure you lot got better things to do, man. Go enjoy your Saturday. And I hope you and your loved ones stay in great health. And we'll link up again soon. But for now, it's never goodbye. It's just goodbye for now. But we need players with X Factor, man. Guys like this.
Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.